course.
All we've got left is an objective is destroy their ships in the home fleet. So, oh, wait a second.
Setting course.
Oh, I think I remember. I think I do remember now. There might be a home fleet that's like a separate plot fleet that's over here.
Plotting new course.
And if so, I should not be using the Bismarck to scout for them, because I really don't want to lose the
Setting
Bismarck.
course.
It's unique. But I think that might be it.
Plotting new course. First officer here.
Well, that's a plane. There's some real limited... Okay, yeah, I think that is what it is, guys. I think there's a home fleet lurking off to the west. I think what we've got left to deal with is one big battle. So I think rather than...
How can I help?
Yeah, I'm not going to call it a video here. I'm just going to let this go long. Let's, Ireland has decided to remain neutral, but, you can say that all you want. Oh, they're just flying around in circles because they can't land. I don't really, like, okay.
First officer here.
Alright, so I think we need to gather the fleet, west of Ireland.
Setting course.
Because I think the home fleet is actually
First officer here. Setting course.
out in the Atlantic somehow.
Bridge here. Plotting new course.
Ready.
Plotting new course. Our course, sir.
It's just possible still
Setting course.
that they're hiding up in this corner of the map, but no, I think there's a big fleet over here somewhere.
First officer here. Setting course. First officer here. Bridge here. Setting course. Bridge here. Plotting new course. Ready.
Okay.
Wood and gold, huh? Alright, so we're letting this one go long.
Plotting new course.
Right away.
But we will get a full map explored over here.
Ready.
Okay.
Yeah, I did have a vague memory of this, but then I was starting to think, oh no, this wasn't, I thought I remembered, like, a big fleet being away to the west on a map, but I thought it might have been the next scenario when that happened.
Setting course. Bridge here. Plotting new course.
Right, but that'll take a while to complete. But since I think what's really happening is that we need to sink a big plot fleet that has been hanging around over there forever, we'll just go ahead and get started. And not wait for that lighthouse.
First officer here.
Without knowing precisely how many ships we got left,
Ready.
it really is wood we need at this point too.
Okay.
Okay. Although, you know what? I don't know how I rotate this around.
Okay.
Because bombers might also be handy here. Because I don't think any of their boats, unless they got aircraft carriers out there, we've got a single fighter bomber that's out of it's a Corsair, so we could use disruption web against our spore cannons or spore colonies, but otherwise it can't really do anything to us. It's out of gas, but apparently in this game,
How can I help?
being out of gas doesn't mean you crash. It just means you
Right away.
hang around. And I haven't myself figured out how the hell you transfer planes from one base to another. Because I'd kind of like to do that.
Yes, Commander. Yes, sir.
Can we transport you to Ireland?
On your
That came
command.
up in the last... that came up in one of the World War I scenarios.
Yes, Commander.
So I guess if this is Dublin, there wasn't room to build it any down here where it should be, but I guess we're going to say this is Shannon Airfield, and it's now a Luftwaffe base.
First officer here. First officer here. Setting
Get over there and
course.
get it repaired, man. Come on.
First officer here. Bridge here. Plotting new course.
Coming to the field of
First
repair.
officer here.
There we go.
Yes, Commander. We are under attack. Ready.
Alright,
Okay.
pain in the ass. Now what's going on? Okay, well they're building air power again, because every so often they just decide they're going to have lots of air power. And they're rebuilding naval yards, too.
Yes, Commander. Yes, sir.
Ready.
Right away.
Might have been more trouble than it was worth to try to set up bombers.
We are under attack. First officer here.
Let's just have you guys head this way until something happens.
course. We are under attack.
I can split this after the fact if it turns
First
into
officer here.
more than a video's worth of content.
Bridge here. Plotting new course. Bridge here.
It just takes so damn long for the Bismarck to repair.
First officer here. First officer here. Bridge here. Setting course. First officer here. First officer here. Bridge here. First officer here. Plotting new course. First officer here. Plotting new course. First officer plotting new course. First officer here. Setting course.
can
Those
I help?
bombers shot down already? What the hell? Oh no, they're flying around over here looking for targets.
Our course, sir.
Are they hiding in Iceland?
Bridge here, setting course. Bridge here. Plotting new course.
Yes? Alright, it's taking longer than expected. I might end up splitting this into 2 videos. It's okay.
First officer here.
It's the home fleet, wherever they are, they're far from home, the home fleet. Kinda wish there was room for a,
Ready.
Can I build a lighthouse anywhere in Iceland? It didn't seem like any place was possible. Unless maybe I could have done it on that spot right.
Okay.
Yeah, this is like the tippity top of the map, too.
Right away. Okay.
Is there a
Right
hidden
away.
stretch of flat land up here someplace?
Okay. Right away. Okay. Right away.
First officer here. Plotting new course.
Yeah, well, there's something heading over here. That a plane? Is it a...
Bridge here. Plotting new course. Our course
Oh, here we
officer
go.
Here. Plotting new course. First officer here. Plotting new course. First officer here. Our course, sir. First officer
So the home fleet is... Oh, and it's even a separate faction. Alright, so we need to sink the frigates first, because they can sink subs.
Our course,
And otherwise, these guys are helpless.
first officer here. Plotting new course. First officer here. Plotting new course. Our course, sir. First officer here. Heading course.
Battlefields are... battleships are actually the least dangerous to us.
Our course, sir. Plotting new course. First officer heading course.
Alright, the home fleet was just hanging around out near Iceland,
Plotting new course.
ignoring the actual home. I guess they were clearing a path for transports to come in from America, but
First officer here.
there was no
heading
place
course.
left in England for them to land because all the facilities have been destroyed. I mean, I don't know what else I expected these guys to do. Once there's no place for them to return to in England, I guess they're just like, you know, when a player in a RTS just decides they're going to try to hide in the corner to make it annoying. In these early RTSs before they had stuff set up where
Heading course. Bridge here.
you would be revealed if you didn't build anything within a certain amount of time.
Setting course. Our course, sir.
So depending on how much vamping I do at the end,
First officer.
it does seem like there's no point in splitting this one in half. It'll just be a long episode.
Bridge here. Plotting new course. Bridge here. Setting course. Our course, sir. Setting course. First officer here. Bridge here. Bridge here. Plotting new course. First officer here.
Don't lose the Bismarck. Not at this late hour.
First officer here. Setting course.
Man, there's a lot of ships in the home fleet, huh?
Our course, sir. Bridge here. Our course. Bridge here. Our course. First officer here. Plotting new course.
They've got a lot of King George V's.
First officer here. First officer here. Plotting new course. Our course, sir. First officer heading course. First officer here. Setting course.
We're gonna lose a U-boat that if I was being at all careful we wouldn't lose, but
First officer here. First officer here.
first officer here, first officer here, first officer, officer, officer here. Yeah, I think we've got this, but, oh, never mind, there's dive bombers now. Aren't you glad we built that airfield out in Ireland that never had any part of this? Yeah. God, this is still going, too.
Bridge here, bridge here. Bridge here, plotting new course. First officer here. Setting course. Our course, sir, plotting new course here. First officer here. Plotting new course.
I wonder if there are aircraft carriers, or they just have random planes that don't even have to land.
Our course, sir.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past them normally. They certainly would have the aircraft carriers in the back if they're thinking at all about the design of this fleet layout.
Bridge here, plotting new course. First officer course.
Yeah, let's keep on coming, Corsairs. Throw down that disruption web.
Bridge here, bridge here. First officer here. Yes, Commander.
How can I help?
Right away.
They might just get shot down by
Officer here.
all these typhoons up here, but I like the idea of these planes playing some role in sinking this huge fleet. Because now that I'm, like, this is ridiculous. I hope there's not like another one hidden down here too. If there is, I'll just have to split this in half. So I was saying, oh, I won't bother, but now this thing is still going.
Bridge here. Setting course.
I wonder if the speed with which I defeated the scenario affected how many home fleet ships there were. Because this is kind of ridiculous. If these had all been, like, guarding England in the beginning, there's no way I could have ever actually accomplished the earlier part of the mission. Here we go. The Arbiter. It was it has a very large complement of ships, or planes. Please let that be it.
First officer here. First officer course.
Thinking if there was anything else up here, we would have... Like, what happens if they run out of fuel? Because they're still shooting.
Bridge here. Plotting new course.
Yeah, alright, so I guess we're splitting this after the fact? Never mind. I'm leaving one ship behind just because it'll be silly. If there was...
Plotting new course.
Okay, I don't know what it was. What made the difference there? Why did it end now?
England's fleet and naval bases are smashed.
Smash!
The path to invasion is now clear.
Clara. Okay. Yeah, so there was just this infinite fleet up here. And I think maybe... No, they still have a tiny bit of fuel left. Like, I don't know what caused it to click over there to finally being victory for us. So I guess I should have... like, there's this huge section of map that never mattered, and that was just weird, but... yeah, the air rules in this game are weird. Like, we had a... although it's gone now, I guess it came over here and rejoined them. There was airplanes over here. Corsair fighter bombers, as opposed to over here, where the British were using Typhoon anti-tanks. I'm trying to figure out, did the game just get confused? Because we sank that aircraft carrier and then it wouldn't end. And like, did I, well, I forgot to so. Did I, no, there's still a naval yard. So naval yards didn't count. I was wondering if some boat I forgot about finished off a naval yard while we were over here fighting the fleet, but I don't know. It doesn't look like we got anything for landing on Iceland and Ireland. They were just there if you wanted more resources, but it's the weird thing about this game. Like, other than being able to take in resources faster, the resource piles don't really run out in this game. Like, you know, this thing, I think we've been mining from it for the whole game. It may have had like 500,000. So the only thing you get by taking additional sources of resources, is that if you've got 2 gold piles instead of 1, you can have 20 people working it instead of 10, and it can come in faster. But that's about it. So, and I think that's because in the single-player game, yeah, it doesn't make sense that, like, because you have this map, like, if you play a long game and you go all the way from prehistory to, like, the post-atomic age in a freeform game, like, the map doesn't keep expanding. Like, I never found the little bit of playing I did with the random map in a random mode in this game to be very fun. I like the scenarios by far my favorite part of this game. But this was a weird one. I got off to a really rocky start. It's very momentum based, but once it's going your way, I do remember having enjoyed this one years ago playing it because I like the scenarios where you can just take your time and dick around with it and you don't have to hurry. Like, I guess that's not the way most people like to play RTS because, like, StarCraft 2, which is probably still the best single-player RTS campaigns out there that I have gone through. Yeah, there's always some kind of time limit. They never just let you turtle and build up your forces and wipe out the enemy once you've built up everything that you want to have. You're usually under some kind of time crunch. But in this game, like, wow, I like actually wasn't sure what we were supposed to do to win the game at certain points because it seemed like it had been so long since they had had any kind of threat to us. But I guess let's wrap this up and see what the stats are. Well, no, real fast before we do that. Stavanger. Alright, so this here is Norway, which we did take over in the last game, the last scenario. And this is where the Bismarck was. And they gave us these little things where we were only seeing Paris and then Schlaghaven, or I don't know what each location was. I don't remember now, but they didn't give us full map exploration of the Axis-held France, which I thought was kind of silly. But they only gave us the places we were able to see with the buildings we had. But, like, England starts each of these scenarios with this fully built up, whereas it gave us the Eiffel Tower, I suppose. But otherwise, it gave us, like, a hospital and houses and a temple, which does nothing. I didn't check. Maybe we could have built priests. But, yeah, I don't know. France seems like a pretty empty country. Alright, let's get out. So I am splitting this after the fact, as it turns out. But let's see. Game statistics. As ever, having a bunch of stuff with about the same color is super annoying. Ireland and Iceland both have no population at all. We would keep losing and fighting and building and losing and fighting and building, and I guess we were pretty big by the end with our big build up there, but the home fleet, I guess they surge in size as convoys get through. So the British convoys, yeah, see, they were stupid powerful. They were stronger than the home fleet. And then finally we sunk them all, and then they just hung around at this level, whatever that means. Great Britain, which that was the faction that had battleships that would spawn in Britain itself and come out and attack us. So it was down here. But the home fleet, which is like the final boss, was never as powerful as they were. It was just a bunch of ships that were sitting out there that we weren't fighting. And the Home Guard was the ground forces. I'm not sure if the Air Forces counted as Great Britain or British convoys. Whatever. Military score, we killed the most units. British convoys lost the most. We destroyed the most buildings, although they destroyed some of our buildings. Like, I would try to build lighthouses and they would just come bomb them. We had more citizens than they did, but they had more research than us. I guess there were researches I could have done, but as ever, I dominated in mouse clicks and hotkeys press, so. I have junk files cluttering my PC, but hopefully we'll get rid of it. Did I just... Okay, did we just get kicked out of the program? I was expecting to get back to the menu, but I guess not. All right, folks. I don't know if you'll even hear this. I'll just have to put up a black screen or something. But when we come back next time, I believe there's only one scenario left in the German campaign. You know what? Let's actually hit play and make sure that that's correct. Because I'm getting like 2 full-length videos now by the time I split this. But, Operation Sea Lion. Okay, I was a little worried there for a second that the game had crashed to the point where preparations for invasion wouldn't count. But I shouldn't be giving this away, but I guess I am. My recall is there is no German battle against the Russians at all, and I think maybe you fight the Americans a little bit as part of this, but knocking England out, and England has been, you know, this has only been World War I and World War II presented, but England has kind of been our true enemy throughout. They were by far the dominant force in the Red Baron and the Somme, because we would have to fight French ground forces, but it was like stupid amounts, particularly in the Somme, stupid amounts of British air forces were the real problem. So next time in Operation Sea Lion, because this game likes to teach about history but not actually really stick to it, I think we get to defeat the British once and for all. Tune in for that. Auf Wiedersehen, Schmucks.